to jump on here and just share with you all a little bit of my story and really how about 7 years ago the Lord just got a hold of my heart, and it's really been just such a transformational journey for me, and how worship has played such a key role in the transformation of it. So I remember all my life I've been a planner. I like order and organization, but what I found is that has led me to be in my head like a super a lot. I grew up in religion, so I guess you could say that I tended to have a boxed in view of God, of what he could do and what he couldn't do, what he was willing to do and what he wasn't willing to do, you know. So there was a lot of things that I grew up believing that just weren't true, you know, based on what I thought. So I found myself a few years ago, like I said, I was just in this place of really living in constant fear. I was having anxiety attacks, panic attacks, everything just seemed like it was fear oriented. You know, I said to the Lord during that time, I said, you know, I read your word and I know that you heal in your word, but if you can't, if you won't heal me from this, you know, I have to go to the doctor, I have to get on medication. And so really from that point on, you know, he took me on a journey of, I just gave him a simple yes of, yes, I believe you can. And from there, I've seen worship, you know, during that time I remember just worshiping, even when it didn't feel like I could truly lead myself in worship. I had worship music playing. I remember just in that being in my head, just kind of wanting to escape. And, you know, in my past, I had, you know, used different things to escape that were not always the healthiest choices. But when I chose to trust God and trust that he was good, it really shifted a place in my heart that allowed me and really allowed him, I guess, to just transform me and transform my heart. I remember telling God, you know, if I trust you, will you just meet me here and help me? And really from that moment on, when I chose to trust in my heart, in spite of what I could see, in spite of what my thoughts were, when I felt that peace come into my heart, I did that through, like I said, worship music and declaring that he was good, and declaring what his scripture said. Along my journey, I haven't always been the most comfortable. Whenever it came to this place of worship for me, I was always, I guess, even fearful in his presence to be all that I was, or all that I felt like God wanted to do in that moment. And you know, I learned that if I can just lay down my mind, really, and lay down what I think people are going to think or how they're going to judge it, and really just focus on the one. I was looking at the story of it's in John 6, and it's talking about when Jesus walks on water and how the disciples, you know, they got into a boat, the waves, the wind started making the waves go in the lake, and I imagine that the disciples were pretty scared, and then all of a sudden they see Jesus, and he's actually walking on water, and he's higher, you know, he's greater. And I saw how the disciples, their shift, or their focus shifted. It moved from being on the water and everything that was going on in the water and in the boat, that they focused on Jesus. And when they focused on Jesus, when they shifted their perspective higher, he came to them and he met them where they were at. He met them in the boat. And it says, in the Passion Translation, it says that as soon as he stepped into the boat, that they were transported to the other side. And you know, whenever I read that story, it just reminded me so much of my experience with God, and how he met me exactly where I was. He met me exactly where he knew I I needed him the most, and he gave me a weapon. He gave me worship. He pointed me to how my heart and my mind could come against the thoughts and the feelings that I was going to have along the way. He gave me this powerful weapon to use in my corner to bring down heaven into the atmospheres that I would go in, or into the just into the situations or circumstances that he would give me songs to shape those situations. And even though if what I saw wasn't good, I knew there could be goodness in it. And so I just challenge you today. I just posed the question, we live in a crazy world. So many things are going on, and it's so easy to get focused on the negative. I saw wasn't good, I knew there could be goodness in it. And so I just challenge you today. I just posed the question, we live in a crazy world. So many things are going on, and it's so easy to get focused on the negative. But I would challenge you today, and just the simplest way, where can you find goodness, and where can you see goodness in this situation, and how can you use your worship, no matter if it's one or two words, no matter if there's just a simple song that you're feeling in your heart, how can you use worship to be your weapon in your situation?